Hello everyone, welcome to this video on Visual Studio Code. In this video, we're going to be taking a brief overview of this animal called Visual Studio Code. I want to get to know it better. Just a little background to what this is. Visual Studio Code is a text or code editor used to edit text or code, mostly code. And the beautiful thing about Visual Studio Code is that it supports a wide variety of languages from C#, C++, C, Java, JavaScript, Python, and the list goes on and on and on. So let's get started with Visual Studio Code, the layout, the functionalities of these little things in the sides and so on. So first, we have this menu bar at the top: file, edit, selection, view, go, run, terminal, help. Under the file, these are basically commands to work with files and folders. So you've got things like create a new text file, a new window, open a file, open a folder. So for example, open a folder like this one. I'll select it and I'll open it. So you can see here in this Explorer that we have opened the code folder. And under this folder, I can create a new file. So select file type or enter file name. Well, I would like this just to be called test py. Yeah, saved in here. Good. So just a heads up, .py means this is a Python file. Yeah, so there's that. I've created my file. I can also use one of these icons here. This is to collapse all these. This is to refresh the folder. Here I can create a new folder under the code folder, or I can create another new file here. So I can say something like index.html. Then I've created a new file. I can create a new folder. New folder from VS Code. Wonderful. And again, in this folder, I can create a file. New file. A new folder. Good. So if you open the Explorer and you navigate to the documents and code, you find exactly how it looks like there. So you have a new folder from VS Code there, and also a new file, a new folder. So that's some beautiful thing you can do here. So let's just close that up. Then the edit, simply things to edit the text or the files that we have. Things like cut, copy, paste, find, replace, find in files, undo, redo. And interestingly, next to these commands, you have shortcut combination keys that you can use instead of having to bring the mouse all the way up here. It's tedious actually. So you can just hold Control and C if you want to copy, Control Y if you want to redo, Control H if you want to replace a word, and so on. Under selection, these are, again, maybe to help us better. Let's do this. Oh, by the way, if you are interested in HTML, a cool feature is that you can just put in an exclamation mark, which is an image abbreviation. That's what it's called. Don't mind the names and what. So you can just press enter and it will bring for you the blueprint of an HTML file. So if we want to select, we can have select all. I need to select everything. Or if we want, we can add cursor above here. I need to add another one. And we can say add another cursor above. I need to add a third one. So with this cursor, you can actually type at a go, like at 3 different places. So there we go. All at once. This is actually quite useful because there are many times you want to like type the same thing on 3, 4, 5, 10 lines. And so instead of like writing it once, copying it 9 more times, you can simply just add many cursors. A shortcut to do this is here. Add cursor above. You can Control Alt plus up arrow, or you can just hold the Alt key and with your mouse click on where you want the other cursors to be. So you can have your cursors all these as many cursors as you want. Just keep on holding the Alt key and this is actually going to be set. So I can add as many space bars, I can enter, I can add gibberish, and it's going to work. It's actually very useful features. As you go on in actually coding yourself, you will see how really valuable these features are. Right now, they may look like, oh, just some cool features, but eventually they'll get real. The view is simply how you view the whole window, how this whole thing looks to you. So you have things like an appearance. Do you want it to be full screen mode? Oh, how do you get rid of full screen mode? Oh my. Exactly. Wonderful. Okay. Yeah, so I don't want full screen mode. Things like appearance, if we want to if we don't want to see this primary sidebar, we can get rid of it. If we also don't want to see the activity bar, which was that other thing, we can remove it. But actually I love seeing those in my work, so for me I'll keep them. You can get rid of them if you want, but I'd say you just keep them with you. You can also drag the size of this panel. Sometimes the names of your files, and because of the structure, you have nested folders inside, which can get up to here, and so you can adjust the size of this to see the names of your files and folders more clearly. More thing, we can open a terminal. Okay, here we can run terminal commands, the same that you will run in the command prompt if you're on Windows, or the terminal if you're on Linux or Mac OS. I'm sure they call them terminals as well. Apart from that, you have things like extensions. So extensions are simply additional functionality that you give to Visual Studio Code to do. So you see, like for example, here in this code, we can have an extension to help us to know that each time we write body, there should be a closing body tag. Again, if you are new to HTML and you don't know this stuff, don't worry. These things will get clear as we go on actually coding. So in the long run, we'll get to know how useful the extensions, the running and debugging features are, source control, things like Git and GitHub, searching. This is simply searching in your files, and then we have the Go. Probably you won't probably use this so often. I've never had to use this term. I'm sure you will not use it that much. Running, well, yeah, you may need to use this, especially when you're dealing with programming languages like C, C++, Java, which you bring in some breaking points, and they are compiled languages and so on. So yeah. As you keep on learning, these things will become more real to you. I'm just trying to show you an overview so that you can get to know your way around this thing we're calling VS Code. The terminal. So this is about the terminal. We can open a new terminal, and as you can see, we have one there and another one there. We can split them like that. We can do all fancy features. We can increase the size of this, we can decrease the size. Wonderful stuff. We can run a task that we write in the terminal. You can configure tasks. Then you've got the help. Well, help is there to help you. You have some video tutorials which will take you to Microsoft's website where they have some video tutorials about Visual Studio Code, but I don't think you would need those, especially that you are here. I'm here for you, so hey, why not just watch from me? You have documentation. Now, documentation is actually pretty good. Sorry, I'm not connected to the internet correctly. So documentation is actually going to help you to get an in-depth understanding of how this whole thing works, but for now, you may not need all that. So it's basically the help is just about helping. Oh, what about is a version, the, the date, electron, what was used to build it. Sorry, electron, chromium, node, V8, just some features of the software itself. And that's that. Here you have some extensions, which we'll look at later. You have some, you can manage here, manage stuff. You can come to settings. Here you have settings about your text editor. Some cool settings that are there like font. You can change your font. You can change how you format your code. About the cursor, whether it blinks, whether it's smooth, whether it's in phase or expands or it's just solid. So there's just so much you can do here. This is a really great piece of software. But I wonder why someone would pick something else. But for now, you may not need all this. As we go on in more tutorials, you can go and watch more tutorials, especially on this channel. I'll be uploading more tutorials about programming soon. So as you watch those, I'll be showing you some particular settings for maybe projects I will be working on and things that will be essential for some languages we'll be working with. There you have it. You have gained a basic understanding of how Visual Studio Code works. Now it's time to get our hands dirty and actually start learning to code. So go on, check on some videos, some tutorials about programming which I have on this channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Good day. See you in the next one.